I do not even know what video number this is, but it would be probably the beginning. My genesis in the sense of the past 7 years. So born 1974, Latina, born and bred in Southern California. Uh, Three brothers, parents, all of them still with us. Six nephews, a niece, about to have a great niece in November. So I will be a great aunt. Highlight of my whole life is being an aunt. Um, so go to school, high school, college, moved to Los Angeles. When I'm done with school, I move back to my hometown. I get a job at a naval base where I'm there for about 23 years, and I have to retire for medical reasons. And I was hoping to stay there till 35, 40 years, no joke. I was just like, let me coast on by so I can get my pension and my 401k and my other retirement. Because let me tell you about the Navy or any military installation. Like, if you stay put, you walk away. You walk away with, you know, continuity financially and things like that for the rest of your life. So I started having weakness in my legs, and from there, eventually it led to me having to wrap it up there. And I was so devastated, so hurt because as an independent woman financially, you just, and I'm not married, I don't have children, so it's me, the breadwinner. So that was a whole adjustment, and it, like, I'm still adjusting to it till this day. I'm not even going to lie. So that was like, I think I walked away formally in 2018 or 19. I forget what year. And what are we, 2023? And I'm still adjusting. I'm still adjusting. Although I'm better at navigating the spaces when my mind tends to wander and laments over it. But, anyways, so from there, I was losing my health. I had to retire. I had lost my aunt, who is just huge in my life. Um, I had to eventually move out of my own home, so that's independent living gone, financial independent gone. One of my heroes passed away. I'm struggling just to make it to from the street to the sidewalk, just as one step. It was a whole it was a whole mission. So retire, leave my home, stay with a friend, and all the time I'm still like getting, I think there was a couple of surgeries in between there, so it was like this perpetual loss, this season of just endings, necessary endings. Now that I look back, you know, and I think it was just a stirring of the pot, and you think that your life is over, and it's not. It was just, it's the ultimate setup. Now looking back in the front end, I was devastated. I just did not want to live. On the back end, as I wrapped up that season, I can see the hand of God just hovering over it. Whether He was asking me to end friendships, end relationships, wrap up the career, move out of my home, and He stuck by me. He walked me through it. Did I want to die? Absolutely. Was the loss so consuming and gut wrenching? Absolutely. Um, because you lose a lot of key players, and I just knew whatever was going down, I was all like, this God is clearly trying to take me out on so many levels. And a lot of the time I was thinking like, I would now I'm looking back, you think about Lazarus, who was like, him and Jesus were just, they were the homies. And Lazarus takes sick. I'm sure he was cognizant of the fact, like, I'm sick, I'm dying. But my guy, Jesus, surely when he gets the memo, when he gets the call, when he gets the email, when somebody jumps on a donkey and goes gets them to whatever town he's at working, when he gets the news that his boy is taken ill and darn near death, surely he will come. And I would, I think about Lazarus, like, there had to be some level of disappointment, like reality setting in, like, I'm not going to conquer this illness. I'm not going to conquer this season of death. I'm not going to conquer this season of, like, it's ending, it's wrapping up. I'm Jessica Bo. Um, and if Jesus is your guy, like, you guys kick it. You like when every time he comes into town, you go bowling, you have a barbecue, you hang out. You're like, let's do some horseshoes, let's basketball. I don't know what they did back then. Let's go camel riding. I don't know. Um, and the disappointment, perhaps, that Lazarus uh, might have felt, like I could feel it to the point where, like, so Sway, you're just gonna let me all the way die, because Lazarus had no point of reference in regards to Jesus's agenda. He did not know that the moment that Jesus got the news that his guy was ill and about to die, he was okay, I'm going, but then I'm gonna stay here a few more days, and like that had to be like mentally like, I thought you were true. Like, I thought you were my friend. I thought you loved me. You're sitting out here. You're not trying to take the nearest, the the closest flight to get to me. You're not even trying to circle back around. You're gonna, like, truly, truly let me die. And Mary and Martha, like, what were they thinking? Like, I thought we were tight. That's why, what, you, the one you love, the one, your guy, well, he's dead. If you would have came sooner. But Jesus was all like, I'm just gonna linger here. I'm gonna hang out here. I'm gonna do work, and I'll get to you eventually. So, like, in my season of feeling like, surely this is my guy, whom I put all my chips in the basket, like I bet on him time again, because I'm just an adult church kid. So I knew the Lord, but I didn't like have like the revelation of him in regards to me till I was a young adult. And so feeling like the disappointment, like he's letting everything die in my life. But you don't have that in the beginning of your seasons of death, ending, suffering, pain, loss, disappointment, anger, frustration. You don't have a point of reference until the backside of it. When he resurrects you, and you're like, I know there was probably a part of a Lazarus that was gone. I'm sure glad you let me die, because you wake up different. When we allow things to die, whatever it is, and the Lord resurrects them. Uh, the quality's different, the quantity's different, the power's different. There's a point of reference. You have relational equity. You have a history saying, and when he kills off a thing, he doesn't just leave it dead. He gives you better. He replaces it with something that you could not fathom prior. So it's deep. It's deep because you don't, at least I didn't see today, sitting here talking on this uh, phone, and why these folks are just hustling with this pickleball. Shout outs to the pickleball community. But like, you don't see that it was all the greatest setup of all time. Like the seasons in the cave render the preparation you need. So when he does launch you out to a Texas, that you're fit, that this sickness isn't to death, that I'm going to resurrect your life back up in such a way. Number one, you will not recognize it. Number two, you will not recognize yourself. And number three, the people I'm sending you to, you're ready. And when life happens, you know, like, don't trip. If the Lord is fixed on letting something die, He's also fixed on resurrecting a new version, a new life, a new person, a new heart, a new mind, a new relationship, and things like that. So I just think, like, Lazarus, bro, I know you felt some type of way. And you're like, so you're just going to let me die? My sister's already told you, and you're like, we're not even leaving. And then you got to think about it post resurrection when he saw Lazarus come out. So there go Lazarus. You know, like for the rest of his life, he had within his um, testimony, he was like, I'm the one the Lord brought back to life. And the power that he walked in and the faith that he walked in, that the same BFF Jesus who let him die also resurrected him. And I think it just speaks to the rest of us, because death births life, and just like life births death. I mean, it's a cycle, but like I think of Lazarus now more than ever, like what he thought, you know, as he was breathing his last breath, perhaps suffering and things like that. Like, what was he thinking? Because I know what I was thinking. I was like, surely you're going to come and rescue me. And the Lord did. He just did it differently. He did it wrapped up in the season of necessary endings and things like that. So just think about that. Think about that the next time you think the Lord's clearly trying to take you out. That there's somebody who knows what you're going through out there.